off for you guys. Hi there, welcome back to Life's What You Cake It. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to make gluten-free, dairy-free, flourless brownies. This recipe is actually pretty straightforward, and this is also one of my best-selling items. Here are the ingredients that you're going to need for this recipe. First things first, we're going to go preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Before we start, you're also going to want to prepare your pan. This is an 8x8 pan that I have lightly sprayed with cooking spray and then lined with parchment paper. So we're just going to set this aside for later. Our first step is to get our chocolate and our oil together in this smaller bowl and put it over our double boiler to get the chocolate nice and melted. We're going to get this on top of our double boiler, and we're going to come back to it every now and then just to give it a stir, just to make sure it's melting nicely. While our chocolate's melting down, we're going to start whisking together our eggs and our sugar. Today I'm going to be doing this by hand, but you could absolutely use an electric hand mixer or a stand mixer to do this as well. So we'll crack our eggs now. Okay, that's like the first time I've ever cracked an egg with one hand. That's kind of exciting. Let's see if I can do the other one. All right. Oh my God. Okay, that's kind of cool. Showing off for you guys. Okay, so our eggs are cracked in our bowl. We're gonna add our sugar and let's get whisking. Before I start whisking, we're going to want this egg and sugar mixture to get very thick and pale yellow, and it's also going to increase in volume as well. So it's going to take a little bit of elbow grease, okay? But we can do this. Also, feel free to take some breaks if you need to, if you get a little tired. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely just worked up a sweat. Our egg and sugar mixture has gotten nice and thick and has definitely increased in volume and is a very pale yellow right now, so it's the perfect time to add our salt and our vanilla and whisk that in. We definitely don't need to be whisking this as hard as we did before. Alright, let's check on our chocolate. Alright, so our chocolate and oil are totally combined now. The chocolate is completely melted, so it is ready to come off of our double boiler. I'm gonna just quickly wipe the bottom of that bowl. I don't know if you can see from here that it's got quite a bit of condensation on it. We just want to make sure that none of that gets into our batter. So what I like to do to make sure that my bowl doesn't move around while I'm both whisking and pouring is I actually take 2 damp cloths. I put one underneath my bowl and then I roll up the other one and I put it around, supporting the entire bottom of the bowl. So that way it stays in one place when I whisk. Cool, right? All right, so what we're going to do now is slowly pour this chocolate mixture into our egg mixture while constantly whisking. Alright, so our chocolate mixture has been successfully whisked into our eggs, and the last step to making this batter is to add in our cornstarch and cocoa powder. I have my cornstarch and cocoa powder pre-sifted here. I would definitely recommend that you sift yours before adding it to your batter. There's nothing worse than, cutting or biting into a brownie and getting like a pocket of just like pure cocoa powder. It's kind of gross. We're now going to whisk our cocoa powder and cornstarch into our batter. All right, Alright, now it's time to get this batter poured into our prepared pan. Got our pan here. Just gonna scrape all the batter out, and then we're gonna level it off with a tiny spatula just to make sure it's nice and even. Alright, our brownies are nice and smoothed out, and it's time to get them in the oven. Our oven has been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and they're going to bake for roughly 30 minutes. You're going to want to rotate your pan after 15 minutes just to make sure if there happen to be any warmer spots in your oven or anything that the brownies do cook evenly. And then we're going to be checking our brownies with a toothpick. We'll want to make sure that toothpick comes out with maybe just a few crumbs when it's inserted into the center of our brownies. Alright, our brownies have been out of the oven for about a half hour. They've cooled off to room temperature, so now I'm going to transfer them from this pan onto a cutting board. These brownies are so incredible on their own, just like this, but I'm going to take it up just a little notch and put some dairy-free ganache on them. These are actually going to be a little surprise for my fiance and his twin brother. Their birthday is in just a couple days, so I want to give them an early little treat. This ganache is super simple to make. It is a ratio of 2 to 1 dark chocolate to plant-based milk. I used almond milk for this because that's just what I had on hand today. And what you do is you put them both together in a microwave-safe Tupperware or bowl, and you microwave it for 30 seconds and give it a stir, and it's super nice and silky and delicious. I'm also going to be topping it with some sprinkles. Alright, now that our brownies are all cute and decorated, I'm going to quickly pop them into the fridge just to get that ganache to set up nicely so we can cut them. Alright, so our brownies are now out of the fridge. The ganache has set up really nicely, and since the brownies were firm enough, I did actually remove the parchment paper from underneath them just to make cutting them a little bit easier. So now we're going to cut these bad boys, and I'm actually going to show you a really great trick to make sure that you get clean cuts every single time. So what you're gonna need is a container that your knife can fit into, really hot water, and then you're also going to want a dry rag. What we're going to do now is quickly dip our knife into that really hot water to heat up the blade. Then we're gonna take it out, and we're gonna wipe off that excess water because we don't want any of that to actually get onto our brownies. We just want the heat from the water. Then we're gonna go ahead and make our first cut. And then pull the knife out. Alright, now that our brownies are all cut, it's time to taste one. I know I said that these were a little birthday surprise, but I'm sure they won't mind if one is missing. It's so fudgy and rich and decadent, and oh, it would be so perfect with some ice cream right now too. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed baking brownies with me. If you did, please feel free to leave this video a like. You can also subscribe to my channel for more baking tutorials. Also, feel free to leave me a comment if you bake these. Let me know how you enjoyed them. Thank you again so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Bye!